to hear George Shooter. Fantastic win for the second 15 on Wednesday to get to Twickenham. What did you make of the guys' performance?
Yeah, it was a really big test. Hartpury are a very good team. A lot of their guys are playing National 1, so it was a big test for us, particularly up front. And to be honest, we were probably the second best in some departments. The scrum was a really good battle, I thought. They probably had the edge driving line out wise, and I mean that was as big a test that we had all year. So the guys, it was a bit of a shock from to begin with, but yeah, they dealt with it. They dealt with it well. And, we made some adjustments on the hoof and showed a lot of character in the end to sort of, well, Josh Sharp firstly to kick that goal from about where I'm standing now, and then the guys to sort of hold out the defence for a good 6 or 7 minutes. Really good display of character. You know, the missed penalty, yeah, those sort of things happen in sport sometimes. It was just rubbing the green, I suppose. You know, it was a good display overall, and we did really well to sort of battle a really good team.
A tight one for the first 15 up in Blaydon on Saturday, but a win. What do you make of the guys up there?
Yeah, some of the second 15 stuff must have rubbed off them. It was a real defensive stand at the end of the Blaydon game. You know, Blaydon are a very good team up there. They don't lose a lot at home, and they're again up front they're very strong to score 4 tries through the forwards, which was a little bit sort of annoying for me as a sort of set piece forwards coach. But you know, sometimes you have to take your hat off to a team that's very well drilled and physically a bit stronger. But again, our guys showed a lot of character to claw their way back into the game at the end. A lovely try from Rotti. Blair Hutchinson played probably his best game of the year, making great breaks, and then a 4 or 5 minute defensive stand at the end again, and a bit of fortune with a missed drop goal. But you've got to put yourself in the position to win those games, and we did just that. And that's back-to-back bonus point wins away from home in the north in some pretty poor conditions. Not traditional Loughborough rugby, but you know, it's very enjoyable playing those games, I can assure you. And I know the guys have really enjoyed playing those 2 games, albeit in very sort of unfamiliar conditions. But it's good for their rugby education and good for the league points.
On to Rosslyn Park for the first 15 this weekend. How are you going to prepare with the guys for that?
Well, yeah, it's again another big team coming to our place. It seems like forever since we played here, and we haven't played on a rubber crumb for a very long time. Rosslyn Park are playing on rubber crumb all the time, so they're very used to it as well. Should be a good game. The weather seems to be cheering up a bit. Hopefully we'll take a lot of confidence out of the last 2 weeks, showing we can play with some of the bigger packs in the league away from home as well. So if we can bring our form back here, there's no reason why we can't put up a good show against Rosslyn Park. We're going to put our best performance of the season to date down there to beat them. So they'll be coming up here with a bit of revenge in their mind. But you know, if we prepare well, then there's no reason why we can't come away with a win.
Then on to Twickenham in 2 weeks' time for the second 15. How are you going to prepare the guys over the time running up to that?
Yeah, it seems like a long time. We're about 10 days before that game. We've obviously got the first team game on Saturday to get out of the way before we do selection. Just important that those guys keep focused and keep training away from rugby as you know, the gym and their recovery, all that sort of stuff. They've done a really good job in that side of it up until this point. One more game to go. There's no reason you can't keep ticking those boxes and make sure you do everything you can to be in the best position to win that game. It's going to be a massive challenge. Exeter are a very good team, very like Hartpury. They'll be good up front. There'll be a good scrum, good line out ball. We'll have to be at our best to win it. Just about getting that across in the next 10 days, ironing out some of the problems we had at Hartpury, and just improving our own game, I think. So then you've got to deal with the situation, deal with the occasion when we get there. But you know, this team showed a lot of resolve so far this year, and hopefully just 10 more days worth, and we'll get what we deserve.
Finally, what do you make of the Six Nations this weekend?
Yeah, good. Sort of roared into life a bit this weekend. The big fixture at Twickenham was obviously the highlight, but Scotland got a good win against France, which sort of handed in England the trophy, which is very nice of them. But yeah, actually some pretty good rugby. Again, the conditions obviously improved across the board, so makes playing decent rugby a bit easier. But I think England will be very pleased. They did what was necessary against Wales. Don't think they were necessarily at peak form, but really didn't have to be. Wales were very disappointed for the first 40-50 minutes. Didn't really offer a lot, and then sort of a fight back near the end, but by that time the game was gone. So England have progressed clearly, although it was largely the same sort of squad in terms of players. Great to see a young guy like Itoje come in and and really sort of make his mark on an international at a very young age. He's got a bright future, but let's keep a bit of perspective. It's still the first year of Eddie Jones, the first season of Eddie Jones's reign, as it were. I think we're actually the best of this team until maybe a year down the line.
Right, so here Director Rugby Dave Morris. Wins for the second 15 and the first 15 last week. Give us a bit of a rundown of what happened in the club.
It's just been an epic few weeks for the club, and very, very close as well. We've, as you know, Liz had a few kicks which have maybe slid the wrong side of the post for us this season, and with Wednesday's semi-final, last kick by Hartpury and a drop goal by Blaydon, we probably had a bit of luck on our side. Hopefully that's something that's evened itself out over the season, and that's what happens, and it can give us real momentum. The difference you feel between winning and losing, and how confident you feel at the end is a real stark contrast. But behind those outcomes is just outstanding attitude and outstanding coaching by the BUCS coaches and everyone involved in the league, and the players just putting absolutely everything in, following game plans, and just really, really pleased for the players. So, you know, they're the ones who are the architects of these success, and it just gets bigger and bigger. So we've got Roslyn this weekend, and obviously the BUCS final at Twickenham. And I think what's really, really pleasing is at the end of these games, there's still that growth mindset that players are very reflective of their performance, and where they can improve, and some real ambition in terms of where they want to take their play and how tight they are as a group. That wants to be reflected on the performance out on the pitch. So big couple of weeks gone, bigger week coming up, and just to say thanks very much for all the support that turned out on Wednesday night as well, and thank you very much to obviously a lot fewer numbers, but the people who've come up to Northdale and Blaydon, long trips, and just massively appreciated. And obviously Liz, you've done a few miles on the road, so thank you to you too.
And finally, what did you make of the Six Nations this weekend?
Poor. See you then.
So here at Kieran BT, really good win on Wednesday for the second 15 to get through to the final at Twickenham. What did you make of the guys' performance?
It was a good win. It was definitely a good win. That's the hardest game we've had all year by far, just because of the intensity of where it was in the season, I think. With no disrespect to anyone else, it was, the scoreline suggested how close it was, and you know, I think we've played better, but not intentionally this season. So for us as coaches, it's really pleasing to kind of on the side of that with a win, but I think we'll be better for that experience heading into this final. I expect us to up it. I know we can up it, and I know we can produce a better performance and a far more disciplined performance. So, delighted, 2 years running. Just got to learn the lessons from last year. Everybody's got to learn, so I've got to learn. Everybody involved with the club's got to learn from last year and move on and try and get that win.
A really tight game up in Blaydon for the first 15, but a win nonetheless. Really good defensive performance at the end to keep hold of the win. What do you make of the guys up there?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, that last bit, I think that kind of typifies us, doesn't it? And, it's been a massive couple of weeks for us as a club. And with that first 15, it's been a massive couple of weeks. By no means were they do or die, but it certainly put us in a more favourable position. And heading into the next couple of weeks, it just allows us to have a bit of breathing space, keeps the pressure on other teams, but we've just got to still keep up the performances, keep picking up points when we can. In terms of the defence, for me personally, obviously winning the game like that and really holding them out, Blaydon caused us a lot of problems up front with the driving maul. In the phase play, when the ball out with that, we just seem to be able to keep teams to a minimum at the minute. The boys are getting a buzz off of it, so long may it continue.
Back at home for the first 15 against Roslyn Park this week. We've got a win down there earlier on in the season. How are you preparing with the guys for this Saturday?
Yeah, I think we'll, you know, as I say, it's been a big 2 weeks, and we've got to take confidence for that. We've got to keep keep reflecting on what we're doing well and things we can improve. It was a big win for us down there, and we'll certainly take confidence from that. I think they really enjoyed that performance as well because of the effort that was put in and the outcome that came from it. So we'll look to reflect that. We've got a week off next week, so we'll just give it everything this week.
Fairly long run up to the final at Twickenham. How are you going to keep the boys grounded over that time and get ready for the game?
Well, I think that game last Wednesday will keep the boys grounded. It really will. I think we know we were very lucky in some respects. I mean, the guy that missed the kick, he hadn't missed a kick all night. Great kicker, great player, and he's just, unfortunately for him, he's missed that, and it's allowed us to go through. I mean, we got through by the skin of our teeth. We didn't play well enough. If that was a final, we would have got beat. So, feet's grounded, definitely. And we're still unbeaten, but as I say, I'm really pleased with that in a lot of respects because it has just kept us focused. And we've got a training week, and that'll should propel as well, I think.
Finally, what do you make of the Six Nations this weekend?
What did I make of it? Well, congratulations to England, first of all. No, it was great on yesterday in Scotland, seeing that result come through. Kind of thought they'd do it, but good in the way in which they did it, 4 tries. Man, Huggy playing well, and good border lad, so delighted for him, he's absolutely flying. And rolling a game against Ireland, it's really great. Get 3 wins, it'd be lovely.